How can one of the smallest countries in the world become one of the richest? I'm in Singapore, and let's compare with Canada. Canada is the second largest country in the world, about 10 million square kilometers. Singapore, just 734 square kilometers. That means Canada is over 13,000 times bigger. Now, let's talk about population. Canada has about 40 million people. Singapore has about 5.9 million. So Singapore has far less land and far fewer people. But here's the part that really matters. The total GDP tells you how big an economy is. The GDP per capita tells you how productive the average person is. And this is where Singapore stands now. In Canada, the GDP per person is roughly 55,000 US. In Singapore, it's over 85,000 US. In other words, the average person in Singapore produces 1.5 times economic value than an average person in Canada. That's why Singapore is considered one of the richest countries in the world. And here's a kicker. Canada is a resource superpower. It has the world's third largest oil reserve, massive timber, and 20% of the world's fresh water. Singapore has nothing. They have no oil, no gold, no mines. They even have to import their drinking water, and it's the sand they use to expand their coastline. And their domestic market is tiny. So how did it get so wealthy? First, the location. Singapore sits right on one of the busiest shipping routes in the world. It turned geography into a massive advantage and became a global trade hub. Second, people. Instead of trying to rely on natural resources, Singapore invested heavily in education and skills. Its most valuable asset isn't land, it's human capital. So here's the big takeaway for countries. Well, it isn't about size, it's about productivity, people, and policy. For individuals, the lesson is the same. It's about productivity, system, and skill. Singapore proved that being small isn't your limitation. Being unproductive is. You don't need massive resources. You just need to be the most productive person in the room. Follow now for more simple habits to make money stress-free.